All right. Barakate Hawa. Bashem Yahushai Bashem Rachakodash. Welcome to another live lesson. The name of this one is The House of David slash Third Temple is being built. And pretty much, that's the sentiment that's been going out through the Spirit, as well as the prophecies about the House of David coming back, becoming stronger and stronger, and the House of Saul becoming weaker and weaker. And you could see through the Spirit, how, the House of David is growing, and the House of David is and the House of Saul is falling. Salakia. The House of David is growing, and the House of Saul is falling. So before I get into the lesson, I'm sure you brothers are already aware of a couple of articles I'm gonna pull up that I put in the description box. Elder Pastor already did a lesson on it earlier, but I want to start off with this one here. NCAA suspends all games indefinitely. Now, first they were talking about just not suspending, but first they were talking about that the players would have to get themselves ready to play, in an empty auditorium. Now it went from a couple of days ago to now all the games are suspended indefinitely because of the so-called coronavirus. So everything is moving. The prophecies are popping off. They're speaking. And everything is leading to a shutdown of this whole society worldwide, not just in America. Because when we read Revelation 3:10, it says that this hour of temptation shall come upon the whole world, which ultimately, as Apostle Tar has been saying, that is the microchip. And there's a lot of things that's going to be leading up to it. And a lot of these things that are happening, they could very well use to push the mark of the beast, which is the microchip. The other one is, you can't really see it that well because they wanted me to sign up. I ain't trying to sign up. But this is some called LOHUD, I guess. National Guard heads to New Rochelle for coronavirus containment area. So pretty much, that's the declaration of martial law. There's, I believe now there are 6 states, if not more. I'm not sure on the count now, but I know there's at least about 6 or close to it anyway that are declaring national emergency concerning this so-called coronavirus thing that's going on. Whether it's real or not doesn't matter. They can use it as a guise to push their agenda, which is what they always do. So once the National Guard is sent anywhere, pretty much that's a declaration of martial law, which martial law is when the military takes over the government, and pretty much you as a citizen, or anyone that as a citizen really has no rights. That's why they can put curfews, stiff penalties, fines, jail time for, going outside the quarantine or going anywhere past your curfew, so on and so forth. So, this is what's happening right now. And in the midst of all of this stuff happening, there's all kind of information on the mark of the beast, being a microchip, and new updates, and different things happening. You also have what's called in the scriptures the House of David being built up, because it's been dismantled, broken down, and now it's being built up. But this is the case with the sons of the Most High. They built up, and then they broken down. It goes all the way to the beginning of time. So what we're going to do is go through a few precepts on that and then jump from that just to show the destitute state that we would come to and the rebuilding of this third temple, which is the House of David. And that's what's happening right now. Let's go to Genesis 6:1. And it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. And pretty much the sons of God, or the sons of the Most High, or the sons of the power, pretty much are, back then they were the Adamites. They were the direct lineage of Adam through his son Seth, which it would have came through Abel, but Cain killed Abel. So when we read Genesis the 5th chapter, Genesis the 5th chapter is pretty much a genealogy of the sons of God, the chosen of the Most High. Because eventually through that line of Adam and Seth on down, that's where the chosen line would come through. It went all the way down to Noah, his 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. It went through Shem. Then from Shem, had 5 sons. It went through Arphaxad all the way down the line till it came to Terah. Then it came to Abraham. Then it came to Isaac, and it rested in Jacob. And Jacob's name was changed to Israel, which goes back to the Hebrew name Yasher Allah, which means he, Prince of God, or he, Prince with the power. And pretty much what that means is that these people here that have this name Israel put upon them, Yasha Allah, these are the sons and daughters of God. These are the special jewels, special people of the earth, and they have done many great and special things on the planet, and will do even greater than all that has been done in the past. So as we read along, it says, "And the Lord said, My spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. There were giants in the earth in those days." So now what are the giants in the earth in those days? Was it talking about extra tall human beings? Super tall, 20, 30, 40 feet tall? No, that's not what it's talking about. This word here for giants that was translated into giants in the English should have been translated as fallen ones. And now what it means by fallen ones is talking about those that fell from a great stature that they had. Remember, Adam in the garden, his wife Eve ate of the philosophies of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, gave to Adam, he ate, and from that point on, man started to fall. And that means that men, the sons of God, fell from that great estate that they had. Just like you have today, you have celebrities that are actually worshipped as if they were gods on the planet. And then something comes out, some kind of scam or some kind of, something that they've done or they did, some type of news that comes out, and it quickly turns that fame into hatred. So they went from that glorious status to being bums. You've had rappers and basketball players, that have gone from having a great career to in the gutter, drug addicts, in jail for murder, different scenarios. So they fell from that great stature. This is what this is talking about. Because when you look up this word giants in the Hebrew, when you look through here, the word here is ha-Nepalium. The Nepalium, fallen ones. Plural. Nepal means to fall. Ha is the, Nepal is fall, and the yum makes it plural. So the fallen ones. All right. And when we go here, the root word or the word is napayal. And napayal, this says not giants and Nephilim. The Nephilim, the word Nephilim, Nepalium, right, does not mean giants. The word for, you had another word for giants. I believe it was a Rephaim, if I'm not mistaken. Those were the actual giants, that were actually high, tall in stature. These were men that fell from a great stature. All right, let's see what they say for Nepal. To fall, see, lie, be cast down, fall or fail. So what happened? It went from that great state to a fallen state. From being renowned like the nation of Israel was at one time, was glorified by the nations. Wow, what great nation is like this, that has the Most High so near to them, that has such great knowledge, wisdom, and understanding as this people. To, is this the city that men call the perfection of beauty? That was the fall of the sons of God back then. We're dealing now with the time of Adam, and when you update it to the Israelites, that's what happened. So we as the sons of God fell many times from that great state to where we're at now. But now, right, that's right, not fallen angels either. And since you said that, brother, Elder Manatazak, I believe in the Ben Yehudi, not the Ben Yehudi, Salakia, in the Zondervan's Bible Dictionary, when you look up, I'm not sure if it's Nephilim or something like that, it says not fallen angels. You know, even though the word angel, people don't understand the word angel. They think it's the word angel, mala'aka, is, you know, just a being up in the heavens that flies around. You know, the word angel simply means messenger. When we read Malachi, the 3rd chapter, in the 1st verse, the word there for my messenger is mala'aka or mala'akaya. You know, so mala'aka just simply means messenger, which is translated sometimes as messenger. Sometimes it's translated as angel, but it also means judge. See, so people get confused with the angel. So when they see the word Nephilim, they're already thinking of fallen angels, that they were up in the heavens and they pissed the Most High off, and Satan led the revolt against the Most High, and the Most High said, F you, Satan, and threw a flying kick at Satan and kicked him in the chest. He went flying down, and the angels came flying down with him. No. That's that fairy tale, you know, fable BS. That's that Greek mythology and fairy tale fables. That's not what happened. Because as we speak right now, the angels, Satan and the angels are up there right now. You know, they're up there right now on the left-hand side of the Most High. You know. So this word here, Nepal, when we read this again, let's go back. There were fallen ones in the earth in those days, because we're reading Genesis 6 here. And Genesis 6 came after what? Genesis 5. And Genesis, the 5th chapter, speaks about the sons of the Most High. Adam and all of the men that came after Adam. Seth, Methuselah, you know, Enoch. Those are all the sons of God. So they started dealing with the women of the other nations back then in those times when you know, everything was small. So the Lord caused them to fall. But it was already set up in the spirit, because the snowball started with Eve when she gave Adam to eat. And from that point, Adam started to fall, and the rest of his sons with him. You see, and until you see what's happening today. So now when we, all right, men of, let's read that again. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of the Most High came into the daughters of men, and they bare children to them, the same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown. Which was men, let's see, let's go down here. Shum, see? Men, Anawash, or it should have been Ayash, but Anawash, I guess, is another way of saying it. And then of renown, which is what? Shum, which is what? Name. Men of name. So those men of name fell down to what? To a demoralized reputation. You know, because it says, what is it? I know it's in Proverbs. Proverbs 22:1. A good name is rather to be chosen than great riches, see? And loving favor rather than silver and gold. So the men of renown were men of good name, of good stock, that had a name to them, that had a reputation of being great. You know, the two, I believe that's Deuteronomy 4 and Lamentations 2. Those are the two furthest points from each other. Deuteronomy 4 is when Israel was great and the nations lauded us. And Lamentations 2 is when we fell and the nations talked shit about us. You know, wagged their head at us and hissed at like, oh boy, tisk, tisk, tisk. You know? So now let's go from there to the book of Psalms 82:6. I have said ye are gods. See, this is another word that people get confused on. Gods, you can translate gods as an angel, or you can translate it as judges. And this is what Yahweh Shai quoted when he was cutting the wicked Pharisees and them, when they said, look, you think you're saying you're the son of the Most High, you're making yourself equal with the Most High? He said, well, it's not written in your law, I said ye are gods. I have said ye are gods, and all of you are the children of the Most High. This is dealing with the Israelites, the sons of God. But you shall die like men. And that's what happened. After Adam went off, that's what happened. That's what started that snowball effect. And what? And fall like one of the princes. And when we look up this word fall, right, what does it take us back to? The word Nepal, which was the root word to Napoleon, or the Nephilim, the fallen ones. You know, you fall from a great estate. You know? And that's pretty much what happened. Hold on 1 second. Yeah, the elder Menachzak and the elder Ainab just came through. Shalom. Yep, Shashabraktan. So we're just pretty much dealing with the house of David. Third temple is being built. So pretty much that's what it means to be fallen. So the fallen ones, as is read in Psalms 82:7, but you shall die like men and fall like one of the princes. That's pretty much the there's our chairs in there in the closet. That's what the root word goes back to, fall, or Nepal, which is Napoleon. All right, so now let's go from there to, let's see what I have here. All right, now we're gonna go and bring it up to speed, and the bringing it up to speed meaning going into the house of David. You know, the house of David being great, and the house of David being great. At one time, we fell from that great estate. And you've seen how everything was degenerated. Now, when you go into the kings of Israel, right, which is the northern kingdom, all of the kings of Israel, of the northern kingdom, were all wicked. Why? Because the Most High was going to destroy the kingdom of the northern kingdom first. But now when you read about the southern kingdom, or the kingdom of Judah, you had some kings that were righteous, and you had a lot of kings that were wicked, but you still every once in a while had a righteous king, because that the kingdom of Judah was still going to be established. You see? And eventually it would fall, but the kingdom of Israel had to fall first. All right, so now what we're going to do, if you have anything, Elder, let's go to Amos.
9th chapter.
Yep, Amos 9 and 11. Because we fell from that great state. So right now what we're in the process of is the spiritual building up of the house of David, which is the third temple, because our bodies are those temples. And all of the stones of these bodies are being put together and set upon the foundation of Yahushua to be built as his third temple, the house of David. You know? You had some?
Lost it.
Okay, well, I'll read this, while you get that. Amos chapter 9, verse 11. In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen. So the house of David was fallen, right? It's funny that I didn't even think about this as a spirit. We dealing with the word fall or fallen. And then this word comes up. Let's see what we have. Look, Nepal. See? Fallen, Nepal. So the house of David became the Nephilim. That house of David became the Nephilim, or the fallen ones, right? Bear with me 1 second.
Yeah, that's heavy. That's heavy because it's spiritual. That's what happened to the house of David, which, it didn't just consist of just Judah, Benjamin and Levi. It was the other men that made up the house of David, which was heavy. Because you had the prophets, you had certain priests that were considered of the house of David, and dare I say, even Saul's son, which was what's his name, Jonathan.
Jonathan, yep.
Jonathan, he'd have been considered a part of the house of David.
Yeah.
So that's spiritual that you read that.
Yeah.
Because that's what happened. All the tribes fell. The Lord, he broke that bond and everything.
Yeah.
So we became the fallen ones.
Right, and the house of David consisted of all 12 tribes, not just the house of Judah or the tribe of Judah. It consisted of all 12 tribes, and you have to understand and know that.
Right.
So that's why I said, you had some?
No.
Okay. That's why it says, In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David, which is what? The house of David that is fallen, that became the Nephilim, right? It says, and close up the breaches thereof, meaning close up the differences, but also, as Elder Pastor brought out, that, once the number is sealed up, there ain't going to be no other Israelites that's going to be able to come into that. Only the house of David. The Lord's going to push out all the ones that are not a part of it, And that's why we give diligence, Lord's will to, be a part of that elect, man. Because it's all about the house of David at the end of the day. Of course, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, that goes without saying. It says, now what, right? Now it said that it's fallen, Nepal, right? Napoleon. And I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old. So the Lord said, from that fallen state, he's going to raise them back up. Now, when we go back to the house of David, you had King David, you had many mighty men. Right. And those mighty men pretty much had spiritual power. 37 mighty men. So how can a one man fight and kill 300 men? Yeah. Unless they got that power. You see? But from that state that we were back then, all the way till now, look what we came to. You still got some mighty men. But you guys, but compared to back then, man, nothing, man, nothing compared to back then. But even back then, as great as they were, it's not going to be nothing compared to how the kingdom is going to be. Do you have some? I already know.
Oh, you already know. Yep. Zechariah. I'm not sure if you hit this one yet, but it's Zechariah. 12. Yep. Yeah, beautiful. Yep, Zechariah chapter 12 and 7. It said, the Lord also shall save the tents of Judah first, that the glory of the house of David and the glory of the inhabitants of Jerusalem do not magnify themselves against Judah. That's right. Because Judah is still the top tribe. King David was from the tribe of Judah.
That's right.
And that's the beauty of this thing, is that the house of David also consists of the other tribes. Yep. And dare I say, the 144,000. If you will. Gone. It says, in that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them, at that day shall be as David.
Feeble? Meaning what? Fallen. Matter of fact, let's look up that feeble. What verse was that? 8?
8, yep.
Yeah, it's beautiful, man. Everything works out in the spirit, man. Everything works out in the spirit. Kashal, the word is kashal. Stumble, stagger, totter. Yeah, because when you
stumble,
like the dominoes. When you hit a domino and one domino hits the next, that's like a tottering wall. That's a stumble. Feeble.
That's heavy, because the scripture said, "Have they stumbled that they should fall?" Because because Jake fell off. We starting with Judah, the house of David. But the Most High, that was because what? That was the prophecy. So the Lord could bring back the other sheep, the other Israelite foreigners back into the fold and then graft them back in. That's all dealing with Israel. That's all dealing with Israel. All right, this is Romans 11, verse 1. I say then, after Most High cast away his people, the Most High forbid. So the question had to be asked because why? We fell.
Right. Woo! Oh, I see where you went with the stumble part.
Right.
I got you.
And that's the spirit, man.
Because that's Judah.
That's Judah.
Yeah.
And that's what everybody was looking at it. They like Jacob's cut off, and they foreigners, heathens. And even though, like the Apostle Paul even said, that time should not come, save they come a falling away first. So we had to fall. We had to fall in order for us to rise.
Man.
For the Lord to raise the house of David, the tabernacle of David. So it says, for I also am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin. The Most High hath not cast away his people, which he foreknew. It says, know ye not what the scriptures say of Elias, how he maketh intercessions unto the Most High against Israel, saying, Lord, Lord, they have killed thy prophets and digged down thy altars, and I am left alone. Right? But now, Shalaki, I'm going to jump down to to the point to 7. It said, "What then? Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election hath obtained it." And David is that's why the scriptures say David's still going to be their king. When you go back to Ezekiel the 37th, because he's a part of that elect. And all this goes into reincarnation, showing you that the Most High is dealing with reincarnation. Right. By the Lord raising up the tabernacle of David, the old house of David, that's all reincarnation, man.
As in the days of old.
As in the days of old. You know?
So those that weren't part of David's house are not going to come back.
Bam. That's right. The apostle said those that weren't, if you wasn't a part of King David's house back then, you're not going to come back into it now. And that's why dudes is bugging out. Or if we sit there and say King Mashah is King David, yep. A lot of people have problems with it because why? They wasn't a part of the house of David back then.
That's right. Yeah, because if you were part of the house of David, you know, you ain't going to have a problem with it.
Exactly.
You would agree with this word.
You would agree with it, you know? So that's heavy, man. So it says, but the election have attained it and the rest were blinded. Right? Jumping down to 11. I say then, have they stumbled that they should fall? The Most High forbid, but rather through their fall, salvation is coming to the Gentiles, which are the Israelite foreigners. All right? Because why? Judah and them, you know, they fell from the grace of the Most High. Right? But that was all set up in the spirit, man.
Judah and them.
Yeah, Judah and them. You know, but that was all set up in the spirit. So now, going back to Zechariah 12 and 8, getting back to the point, it says, "In that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David." As David. Why keep making reference to David? David was one of the greatest warriors ever to exist, man.
Right.
You see? He took down all the nations. Whoever came up against him, through this power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, he took down all the nations. So the Lord said the feeble is one that's going to be like David. Meaning the lowest brother is going to be like David. Which that says a lot. So if that's how the lowest brother is going to be, imagine all the rest of the house of David. And David himself.
Right. And I believe it's going to say...
It is going to say it. Yep. You're right. It said, "In the house of David shall be as the Most High, as the angel of the Lord before them." So that's heavy, man. You know, and that's the Lord closing up them breaches, man. You know, that's the Lord closing up them breaches, setting us in order right before Esau, just like the Most High said he would do it. He's raising up the tabernacle of David, which is the elect, right? The tabernacle of David is the elect because that was who the Lord was dealing with back then. Mm-hmm. Most High ain't going to be dealing with King David 1 minute and promise him the kingdom and his son, which is, you know, was King Solomon. Right. Which is Yahweh Shine reincarnation. But then later on, he going to promise that to somebody else.
Crazy.
The Most High don't work like that, man.
Yeah, Most High is not senile.
Abraham was his friend for 1 minute, but now he's going to change it. Nah, the scriptures say the Lord changes not. You know?
It's got a couple of precepts brothers put on the comment board.
Okay, I can't see him.
I'll read them. I'll read them off here. This is the book of the brother Thalmayad, Revelation 5 and 5. "And one of the elders saith unto me, Weep not, behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, hath prevailed to open the book and to loose the 7 seals." The brother GMS Rataza Allah, Matthew 8:11. "And I say unto you that many shall come from the east and west, and shall sit down with Abraham and Isaac and Jacob in the kingdom of heaven." Let's see. There was another. Brother, stay in the spirit. Isaiah 55 and 3. "Incline your ear and come unto me. Hear, and your soul shall live. And I will make an everlasting covenant with you, even the sure mercies of David."
Amen.
You know, and that's why the brother. This is what caught my attention. The brother, the kingdom is within. Brother put up the heat on the comment board.
Yeah. That's a heat rock, man.
Yeah.
That's a heat rock. You can't get around it, man. The scriptures speak about the tabernacles of David that have fallen. The Lord, the sure mercies of David.
Yep.
You know?
It's all throughout. Bring it out.
This is Luke chapter 1, verse 68 and 69. It said, "Blessed be the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, power of Israel, for he hath visited and redeemed his people.
Beautiful.
And hath raised up and hath raised up an horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David.
Right, because the Most High promised King David that his seed should sit on the throne forever.
Wow.
So how can his seed sit up on the throne forever when he had to come back to claim that?
Yeah, come.
You know?
Come. So he had reincarnation.
Right.
He has to be reincarnated.
Because King Solomon died, he went, back in the spirit world. So when did he come back? Yahushua. Now that Yahushua went through the sacrifice, his kingdom is established forever. Only thing that we wait for is for him to come back and set himself up on the earth. Like it says in Hebrews that we see him not yet, glorified yet. So along those lines.
We see not yet. Yep.
So it's already there. It's already established. He's already sitting on the right hand of the Most High, just waiting till his enemies be made his footstool.
To play out.
Yeah.
Right. And he's of the tribe of Judah. And then you're going to have King David sitting with him also in the kingdom. Come on, man.
Come. Well, there's more on that.
A little bit.
Bring it. Bring the heat.
Yeah, man.
It says, as he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began,
Damn.
that we should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us. So,
Damn.
So who's that mainly?
Damn, that's
Who is the house of David's main enemy? The house of Saul.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, because right.
And then the house of Saul and the other nations too.
Any other nations.
Yeah.
But our worst enemy is Jake. 2/3.
Yep.
Yahushua said, Jerusalem, which killeth thy prophets. So yeah, that's heavy. They included in that too, right along with Esau and the other nations, and the 2/3, the other houses. And the scripture says, except the Lord build a house, right?
They labor in vain that built it.
That built it. So
if you leave it up to Jake, we'll never get out of here.
yeah.
Good thing that the Most High is in charge, man. Because if you leave it up to Jake, we'll never get out of here.
That's right. And the Most High got the order's already set.
Yeah.
King David, the house of David, Yahushua,
Yep.
King David, right?
Then the house of David with him, which is being built right now from the ashes, baby, from the ruins. Girl, you got it.
That's right. There's more on that.
No.
That's it.
Right.
All right, so back in Zechariah 12 and 10.
Let me get that again. Let me see. All right, go ahead.
You got it.
12 and 10, you said?
Come, 12 and 10.
All right.
It says, and I will pour upon the house of David and upon the inhabitants of Jerusalem the spirit of grace, okay, and of supplications.
Right.
And they shall look upon me whom they have pierced,
Right.
and they shall mourn for him as one mourneth for his only son, and he shall be in bitterness for him as one that is in bitterness for his firstborn.
Yeah, that's going into, we're in the kingdom, we're going to see Yahushua's body like it is, and we're going to mourn and lament him, and then after that, there's going to be no more suffering,
That's right.
But the main verse in here was the 8th verse. It says, in that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them at that day shall be as David, and David was a mighty man, and the house of David shall be as the Most High, as the angel of the Lord before them. So you can't imagine. Matter of fact, I got it on the list. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 2 and 9. You can't even fathom or imagine the glory of the kingdom, the glory of Israel in the kingdom, man. The glory of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua and Israel in the kingdom. We can't even, even with the brother that has the greatest imagination,
Right.
can't even really fathom what the kingdom is going to be like.
Right.
We just have movies and ideas. Some brothers have a vivid imaginations, but even with all that, in all those thoughts combined, it's not going to even touch the greatness of the kingdom, man.
Yep. This 1 Corinthians 2 and 9
Come.
says, but as it is written, eye hath not seen, nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things which the Most High hath prepared for them that love him.
Right. So even everything we read in the scriptures, we still can't even picture it. The Apostle Paul said that things that he saw in the spirit world, it wasn't lawful for him to utter it because you couldn't even explain it.
Can't do it justice.
Right. You have to actually see it in order to really understand it. So when the kingdom is established, we have to actually see, what the Lord has prepared for us. We can only think about, but we can't even really do it justice with the words that we could speak.
Nah.
You know,
That's why, Apostle Paul said he couldn't even describe the spirit world. Like, it's so beyond our comprehension of the holiness and righteousness and tranquility and peace and the magnificence. We can't fathom that, man.
Yeah, and Yahushua said a prayer to the Lord was, "Our Father which art in heaven, holy be thy name, that will be done on earth as it is in heaven." You know, so the heavens of the heavens of the heavens of the heavens, inside joke, is going to be translated down to the earth. So everything is going to be perfectly righteous.
Wow.
Up in the heavens and on the earth. You know, and the nations, they're going to still have to be taught, you know, because they're going to go off, because you still got to have that balance of good and evil. You know, but it's not going to be nothing like this bullshit here. This has been a trip, man.
Yeah, truly.
You got some?
I got a quick one. John 14:2.
Truly.
It says, "In my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you."
Right. What are those mansions?
The heavens, the different planets, galaxies.
There you go.
You know, that the Lord, have reserved for us to live on.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So if it were not so, I would have told you.
Right. So if it wasn't so, he wouldn't have said so. Go ahead.
I go to prepare a place for you.
So that's just, we're going to have the earth. The earth is going to be rejuvenated. It's going to be built back up. The house of David, But then there's going to be space travel. And we're not going to have to wear no mask or no stupid suit,
No air.
Right, have oxygen tanks. Be afraid that the oxygen tank is going to run out before you get back to the ship. So it's going to be an overabundance, of everything, man. And there's going, the scripture says, spread out the tents.
Yeah.
In Isaiah the 54th chapter, spread out thy tents, lengthen thy cords.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? It means that we're going to be so much. It says, matter of fact, let's get that. Isaiah 54:1, and then somebody get Isaiah 60 and what is that, 21?
I got 54.
Feel like we back at the school, in Connecticut.
Yeah. Old school. Yeah, that's what the spirit is bringing back.
Con.
What's the one you called for? The first one?
The first one was Isaiah 54:1.
Okay, you got that one.
Yeah.
And then the second one is Isaiah 60, and I think it's 21 or 22. Okay.
I got Isaiah 40:22.
You can read that if you want.
I'll be after.
Let me grab this other one. What y'all getting first?
Okay, Isaiah 54:1.
All right, let me get that.
Isaiah 54 verse 1. It says, "Sing, O barren, thou that didst not bear, break forth into singing and cry aloud, thou that didst not travail with child. For more are the children of the desolate than the children of the married wife, saith the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Enlarge the place of thy tent."
Right, enlarge the place of thy tent. What is a tent? Where you live at. So what does it mean to enlarge it? Let's go to it. Rachab. The Hebrew word rachab. To be or grow wide. Be or grow large. Why is that? Before you read that, I got Isaiah 60 and 22. "A little one shall become 1,000, and a small one a strong nation. I, the Lord, will hasten it in his time." And this time is going to be even greater. Remember, you got Israelite men that shoot blanks, or women that have miscarriages.
Yeah.
In the kingdom, there ain't going to be none of that.
Yeah, that's true, because you're supposed to have a lot of children, a lot of seed, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
The Lord said, "Be ye fruitful and multiply."
Blessed is he that have his quiver full of them.
Right? So they look down at you. Oh my God, you got 4 or 5 kids. That's nothing.
That is nothing, man.
So that's why I said, really, we're barren. Like right now, like you said, you got
4 or 5. That's a little warm up.
That's a warm up, man. And imagine we're gonna live forever. All them wives in the kingdom. So, and it said one should become strong, right?
Right. It says, "A little one shall become 1,000, and a small one a strong nation."
A small one, a strong nation. So from the least of your seed, he's going to become a strong nation within itself. So really, the elect is going to be a bunch of Abrahams, a bunch of father of multitudes of nations. Because your seeds are going to go on, and they're going to be truly prosperous. Because now Dave, you have a son, you know, sometimes the father end up burying his son.
Yeah.
Which is you know what I'm saying? Or his grandkids.
It says there shall not be a what is it, a child? Go ahead, you got it.
Yeah, so that's heavy. That's a blessing. So that's why in the 54th chapter when it says single barren that did not bear, that's speaking about Israel. Because why? We curse because we're cursed. It's like a woman whose womb is cursed. Because remember, Israel is the woman of the Most High. That's why like Jake is all bugged out, sold out, became Uncle Tom's, because they think Esau got the juice, because it seemed like Esau always get the blessings and everything. Everything goes well for these devils. They got the silver spoon in their mouth and everything, so they think that, hey, well, the Most High must be with them, and you got Jake trying to be like him. They really actually think that these crackers is King David and King Solomon and the rest of the royal ancient his people of the Lord. You see? So that's why the Lord said, no, now is your time when you're going to break forth in the singing, because why? All this time you were taught that you were not. You're going to find out that you actually part of, man, find out you part of the house of David.
Yeah, the greatest people ever.
You're the mighty people.
Yeah.
The Most High led through the Red Sea. That's something to sing about. That's why I said the saints are going to be happy, you know, and singing aloud on their beds, man, in the kingdom.
Yep.
You see?
Joyful and glory. Yeah.
That's it. You want to go back on 54?
Yeah, con.
Okay, so it says, enlarge the place of thy tent, and let them stretch forth the curtains of thine habitations. Spare not.
Oh, here it goes, Salaka.
Yep.
This is what, you know, to back up what you were saying. Isaiah 65:20. There shall be no more then an infant of days. You know, that's not going to live to the full.
As a baby.
Right. Nor an old man that hath not filled his days.
Wow.
For the child shall die 100 years old, which they're not going to die, but it's just like, imagine a child that's 100 years old.
Right.
Shem, Ham, and Japheth, they didn't start having children till Noah didn't start having children till he was 500.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It says, but the sinner being 100 years old shall be accursed, which there's not going to be any sinners in the kingdom. But this is just, and the scriptures say that as the days of a tree shall be the days of Israel. You know?
That's heavy, man.
You know?
It's heavy.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, bro. So it says, stretch forth the curtains of thine habitations, spare not, lengthen thy cords, and strengthen thy stakes.
Now you know why that is, because we're going to have so many children.
Yep.
The earth itself is going to be rejuvenated, be made bigger and all that, but it's not going to be able to contain all Israel. You know, the scriptures even said that the world cannot contain all the spirits that were created.
Yep.
You know? So
it's definitely a lot more.
You know, so but that's why the Yahweh Shai said he's going to prepare a place for us. That's why there's places out there in the universe, multiverse or whatever. We'll find out when we get there. That are set up to be able to be inhabited, and that's where Esau wants to go.
Yeah, Esau's bitch ass, he's butthurt right now too.
Yeah,
he's mad too because. Hey, the Most High let him see some stuff, but he can't get to it, man. You know what I'm saying? And Esau know that's playing for us.
Yep.
And he's mad. He's a big crybaby, man. He's mad, man.
The devil's coming down, having great wrath. He knows that he had but a short time.
Time.
And this is why he's trying to search out everything, because he wants us to be destroyed and them to be set back up.
To fulfill Jeremiah. He's trying to fulfill Jeremiah.
Right. That's it. Because he knows that there's a lot. Shit, he can't even search out the earth.
Not even the sea.
Not even the sea.
Yep.
We're talking about the earth. He hasn't fully searched out the earth. He can't search out the sea, and he definitely can't search out the heavens.
It's Isaiah 40 verse 22. It says, "It is he that sitteth upon the circle of the earth." Circle.
Yep.
Circle.
That's right. Sphere.
Yeah. No flat earth.
Right? Yeah.
It says, "And the inhabitants thereof are as grasshoppers, that stretcheth out the heavens as a curtain, and spreadeth them out as a tent to dwell in."
Yep. That's an old school. They should have wiped the dust off of that one.
Yeah.
You know,
father's house there.
Only Methuselah could have brought out a scripture like that.
Yeah.
You know, but brother, yo, that shows you that out there in the heavens, that is to actually dwell in. That's why we read in Isaiah 54. Strength. So that when the house of David is set back up into power, that's what's gonna happen, man. It's gonna be, man. That's how all Israel is gonna come back through those spirits that were back then. that made up the house of Israel, men and women, because you had women that were with those men back then.
Oh yeah.
And that day 7 women shall take hold of one man.
Yep.
Can't make a nation with just all men.
Yep.
Actually, it's gonna be more women than men.
Yeah.
Shall be saved in childbearing.
Yep,
So
that's
there's
right.
gonna be women that-
That's right. That's right.
It's gonna be more women than men.
Yeah.
Because we ain't gonna just have just one woman.
Yeah. We're gonna have many.
Hey, that's the glory, man. And the thing is, the Lord said He doesn't change, man. That's what the Lord promised to us, Israel, right? So it says, "For thou shalt break forth on thy right hand and on the left, and thy seed shall inherit the Gentiles."
Because we need what? We need slaves.
These slaves, man.
Yep.
No, that's part of the glory of the kingdom.
Yeah.
The true, like Elder Apostle brought out years ago, a true blessing is to have slaves bowing down to you and at your beck and call.
Yep.
You know, that's true. That is true. A true blessing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. 'Cause, hey, Esau got us doing all the dirty work, man.
Yeah.
You know,
Actually, dirty work.
little dirty work, man.
Literal.
You know what I'm saying? So what you think you're gonna do in the kingdom, man? When the Lord established us, man? Come on. It says, "And make the desolate cities to be inhabited. Fear not, for thou shalt not be ashamed. Neither be thou confounded, for thou shalt not be put to shame."
Thou shalt not be put to shame. We're ashamed now. You know, we're in captivity. You know, we're not in our home. We're exiles from our home. You know, we're the downtrodden. We're called niggas, spooks, spicks, wetbacks. You know, tontos. You know, we're the filth of the earth pretty much right now. But the Lord is cleaning us back up. You know, and it's gonna be beautiful.
It said, "For thou shalt forget the shame of thy youth, and shall not remember the reproach of thy widowhood anymore."
The shame of thy youth, going all the way back to when we fell under all them different nations, and what it says. Read that again.
So it says, "And for thou shalt forget the shame of thy youth, and shall not remember the reproach of thy widowhood anymore."
What happened? What is the widowhood part? When the Most High cut us off, so we didn't have a husband. You know, and anything went. That's why. How do you think Jake became in such a heathenistic state?
Man, bunch of
you know,
degenerates,
the Lord said that. How hast thou become a degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me? So we became worse than the nations, than the heathens.
Yeah, Jake is strange, man.
Yeah, because when you let Jake go out without them boundaries, man, Jake will teach the nations and the wicked a thing or two.
Yeah, show the
you
devil
know?
a thing or two about being the devil.
The devil be like, "God damn, motherfucker, you wicked."
Yeah. God.
Shit, goddamn.
Yeah, nah, Jake is gone, man.
But that's why, you know, Barakatah Yahweh Bashem El Shaddai, he's setting back up the house of David. And this is the third temple. When these devils try to set the justification for their third temple is the book of Ezekiel. I believe from the 40th chapter to the 48th chapter. Look, when you read those chapters speak about sin offering. In the kingdom of heaven, there ain't going to be no sin offering.
Right.
You ain't going to have to be sacrificing nothing. We will be sacrificing, but not for no sin offering. It speaks about, and damn near every chapter, or not damn, well, yeah, almost every chapter, it speaks about sin offerings, trespass offerings. It ain't going to be none of that in the kingdom. The kingdom is going to be perfect.
Yahweh covered all of that already.
Yeah.
When he shed his blood.
That's it.
There's no need for that no more. He was the ultimate sacrifice.
That's it.
I got another quick one. This is the Apocrypha of Ecclesiasticus, pardon me, 47, and matter of fact, I'll just start at 1, and then we'll just skip to the points. 47 and 1. It said, "And after him rose up Nathan to prophesy in the time of David, as is the fat taken away from the peace offering, so was David chosen out of the children of Israel." So that's one thing showing you that David was chosen from the beginning. It said he played with lions as with kids, and with bears as with lambs. So this is David, not even in his glory, just in his flesh.
Right.
So
that was in his youth.
That was in his youth. So it said that the least is going to be, back in, what was that, Zechariah, the least is going to be like David.
Right. And the house of David as the Most High.
That's the angel of the Lord before them. So this shows you, man, the Most High ain't playing, man. The
He ain't
Most High
playing.
Yeah, man, he gonna exalt us, man, and lift us back up. And this is our history. This is where we come from, man. And this shows you how far we fell. We fell all the way the fuck off, man. You know, you got Jake walking around here, crackheads, and looking like Skeletor and all them other niggas. You know.
Hey, if they would if they would be able to go back in time and see themselves as kings or princes or in a royal state, they would be ashamed.
They commit suicide.
Yeah, they would be ashamed.
Yeah, they'd be yeah.
Because they're ashamed now in the low state that they're in. But imagine being able to see yourself in that regal state, and then look at you and say, you about to hit that pipe.
Yep.
You about to light the pipe, and all of a sudden you get a vision of you being sitting on a throne or something like that.
Right.
Man, yeah, you probably just drop dead right there.
Probably would, man. You'd be so, you'd be so burnt, man. And that's why the Most High said, look, I'm going to just kill you niggas, because he said, what more can I do to you? You know what I'm saying? Because Jake already untarnished their legacy, their image.
Yeah.
But because of the Most High's name, he ain't letting things go. He ain't letting it go down like that.
That's it. Because the Most High, his name is riding on all of this.
Yeah.
It's riding on it. He said, don't think that I'm doing it for your sake. I ain't doing it for your sake. I'm doing it for my name's sake.
For his name's sake.
Because he ain't going to break his word. Not even for his great name's sake.
That's right.
Yeah.
He's bound by his word.
And when you look at the attributes of King David, because he was known as a man after the Most High's heart. Because King David, and that's heavy.
Beloved.
Beloved. Because the Lord said his ways are higher than your ways. Like, who could know if the mind of the Lord? So for King David to be considered a man after the Most High's heart, that shows you what caliber that he was made of, man.
Yeah.
Because he dealt like the Most High, and all he did was praise the Most High. As many battles and as many people he put down, he gave the props to the Most High. Remember he danced so hard, his joint popped out, and that bitch had a nerve to sit there and come out of her mouth and try to mock him. She got put in a dungeon. Man, listen,
she ain't had no more children for life.
And the Most High ain't get mad at David. Look, David.
You going off, David.
Going off, David. Nah.
Oh, you fucking, you fucking simps today. You would have a heart attack behind that. How can you put the sister away and not give her no ride the rest of her life?
Yeah. You should at least let her go do her thing. Let it. Hey, see, that's why the Lord is gonna get rid of this fucking place, man. This Mickey Mouse whacked out wicked kingdom, man. The Lord's gonna get rid of it. Just jump on down real quick. So this is deep, man. Verse 11. It said, the Lord took away his sins and exalted his horn forever.
Yeah.
You see? So that's why, we do got to speak about the house of David, because the Most High said...
What verse was that?
That's verse 11, Salakia. Ecclesiasticus 47 and 11. So the Lord said he exalted his, meaning set him up to be that king, because why? He's a man after his own heart.
Yeah, because the horn represents power.
It's power.
Yeah.
So I remember one time, because you have Jake be talking a lot of shit. I mean, one time King Masha said, hey, shit, they better hope I ain't King David. Yep.
He said, look, you don't want me to go to the Most High. The Most High work when I pray to him.
Yep.
He
listens to me.
He listens to me.
We all knew he was serious.
Yeah.
So...
But you had cats in there that was playing games.
You see? And just like with Esau, because sentence against the evil work is not executed speedily. It's set in the hearts of the sons of men to do evil. So a lot of people, just because the Most High ain't jack them up for saying that stupid shit, they think that they got away. Nah, nobody get away, man.
Nobody gets away.
But it said, the Lord took away his sins and exalted his horn forever. He gave him a covenant of kings and a throne of glory in Israel.
That's it there.
Covenant of kings.
See, the Lord forgave him, because David did go off with Bathsheba, but the Lord forgave him for his sin. Like,
blessed is the man upon whom the Lord imputed not iniquity. Oh, you got it. Salakia.
Psalms 32 and 2 said, blessed is the man unto whom the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, imputed not in iniquity, and in whose spirit there is no guile.
Woo.
See? There's no
church.
Guile means like trickery or treachery, or
that's right.
Yes, that's heavy.
Being deceptive.
That's heavy.
That's what the Lord said. He tries the hearts. You know, the reins of
Trying to
man.
reign. Yep.
You know, like the most deepest thoughts, you know.
That's
All right, so let's see what else we got. I'm going to read a couple of these precepts. Let's go to 1 John chapter 3, man. I read this earlier, man. It blew my socks off, man. 1 John 3 and 1. Because remember, we doing what? The Lord is doing. The Lord is building up the tabernacles of David.
Tabernacle of David.
All right,
Con.
that is fallen. So go ahead. Somebody got that?
Yep, I got it. 1 John chapter 3, verse 1. Behold, what manner of love the Father hath bestowed upon us, that we should be called the sons of the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore the world knoweth us not, because it knew him not.
Go ahead.
Beloved, now are we the sons of the Most High, and it doth not yet appear what we shall be.
Woo, beloved, now are we the sons of the Most High, and it does not yet appear what we should be. And this is where that first Corinthians 2 and 9 comes in. I have not seen nor ear heard what the Lord hath prepared for them that love him.
Yeah.
You know, so it says, beloved, now are we the sons of the Most High, right? And it does not yet appear what we shall be. Go ahead.
But we know that when he shall appear, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is.
So when Yahweh Shai comes back, he's coming back in glory, in honor, in majesty.
Yep.
You know, and that's what the house of David is being set up for.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why it's important to constantly meditate on these things. You know, because it's easy to lose focus. You know, it's easy to lose focus. You know, because there's so many distractions in this world. So now let's go from there to the book of Romans 8 and 28. Because we already read 1 Corinthians 2 and 9. So Romans chapter 8,
Romans
8 and 28.
8 verse 28. And we know that all things work together for good to them that love Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, to them who are the called according to his purpose.
Right, because that's the Most High bringing the house of David back. Go ahead.
It says, for whom he did foreknow, he also did predestinate to be conformed to the image of his son.
To be conformed to the image of his son, to be made, because there's a mold.
With form. Yeah.
There's a mold already.
Yep.
Yahweh Shai is the mold.
Yeah.
So we're being conformed, meaning we're made into that same, right, forged into that same spirit, that same shape.
Yeah.
Yep. Go ahead.
It says, to be conformed to the image of his son, that he might be the firstborn among many brethren.
So that's the house of David being built back up. Go ahead.
Moreover, whom he did predestinate, them he also called.
Mm-hmm.
And whom he called, them he also justified.
Go ahead.
And whom he justified, them he also glorified.
Right, and that's the house of David, and no one else can come. If you're not of the house of David, you're not going to be able to come into it. So now let's go from there.
Yeah, because what's the scripture speak of the keys?
Keys of David, key of David,
Key of
Revelation
David.
3.
Right?
If you want to get that.
Yep, come. Let me grab that real quick. That's heavy, man. Showing you how the Most High feels about King David, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Start 7.
Which chapter?
Revelation 3, 7.
Oh, 7.
Yeah. You know, got my little cinematic in the background playing.
Cut.
Well, actually, this one is an epic film scores.
It's crazy. Revelations chapter 3, verse 7. It says, and to the angel of the church in Philadelphia, write, these things saith he that is holy, he that is true, he that hath the key of David.
Which is Yahweh Shai.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the scriptures always speak about the sure mercies of David.
Right.
Which Yahweh Shai, that's what he brought. That mercy.
That's right. Yeah. So now when you got a key, you unlock the door
right.
to open the door to let people in. So if Yahweh Shai, if you're of the house of David, Yahweh Shai going to turn the lock, turn the knob, open the door and let you in. That's but if you're not, what you want?
Yeah.
What you want? You know?
Yeah, that's heavy, man.
Who goes there?
That's heavy.
You know?
Yeah, that's true.
And there's also the key of David is also this knowledge, because that's really the main focus of it is the knowledge. But you only have the elect that's gonna get it. You know,
right? Which was of the house of David, the tabernacles of David.
That's it.
You know, so that's crazy, man.
Because that was what the mercy was given to. Just like Yahushua was preordained or predestined before the world began to be that lamb. He fulfilled that somewhat as a figure when he came as Isaac, but he wasn't sacrificed back then.
Yep.
Because he asked Abraham, he said, Father, where's the lamb? And what did Abraham sacrifice? He didn't sacrifice a lamb. He sacrificed a ram that was caught in the thicket by the horns.
Yeah.
See?
Can I say make one quick point? Read that part about the key again?
Oh, okay.
The key, baby, the key.
That like you said, is Yahweh Shai. In Revelations, the 5th chapter, goes into it. You know how Yahweh Shai is the only one that had the keys to unlock the seals of the book.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
So that's like the perfect precept for that.
Get it.
Let me just read, since you said that. Isaiah 22 and 22. And the key of the house of David will I lay upon his shoulder. So he shall open and none shall shut, and he shall shut and none shall open. Since you said that, you know.
Beautiful.
That's heavy, man.
All right, this is Revelation 5. I start at 1. It says, and I saw in the right hand of him that sat on the throne a book written within and on the backside sealed with 7 seals, which represents the Bible, represents the 7 seals represents how this knowledge was sealed up, you know, for a moment in time, you know, until Yahweh Shai came. You know, it says, and I saw a strong angel proclaiming with a loud voice, who is worthy to open the book and to loose the seals thereof. It says, and no man in heaven nor in earth, neither under the earth, was able to open the book, neither to look thereon. And I wept much, because no man was found worthy to open and to read the book, neither to look thereon. And one of the elders saith unto me, weep not. Behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, hath prevailed to open the book and to loose the 7 seals thereof. You know?
That's it.
Yeah.
And Yahweh Shai is the one that holds those keys. Because the Most High gave it to the Lord. Yahweh Shai said, out of all the Lord gave me, I have lost none. You know? And
of the root of David, because he came through David's family line.
Yeah, there you go.
You know?
That's right. All right, so let's go from there to Philippians. Y'all got anything else?
No, that was it.
Okay, let's go to Philippians 3 and 21. Matter of fact, start at 20.
Philippians 3 and 20. For our conversation is in heaven, from whence also we look for the Savior, the Lord Yahweh Shai, who shall change our vile bodies.
See, who shall change our vile bodies. These bodies are deplorable, detestable. Go ahead.
Who shall change our vile body, that it may be fashioned like unto his glorious body.
That it may be fashioned like unto his glorious body. And that's what's happening right now. The house of David is being built up. That's why the Apostle Paul said, what? Though my outward man perish, the inner man is renewed day by day. So we're gaining that spiritual man, the house of David being built up, becoming conformed to Yahweh Shai's image. You know? Go ahead.
Who shall change our vile body, that it may be fashioned like unto his glorious body.
Yep.
According to the working whereby he is able even to subdue all things unto himself. Right,
because Yahweh Shai is writing for us, because the Most High gave him the power. The Most High, the men that Yahweh Shai is making an intercession for were given to him by the Father.
What's that?
John 10, is it? Or 4, it might be 4. Yeah, it might be. You know, so Yahweh Shai is sitting there. It says that who shall change our vile bodies, that it may be fashioned like unto his glorious body, according to the working whereby he is able even to subdue all things unto himself. So he's the one helping form us.
Yeah,
you know? Because it's through him that he's the intercessor. He's the mediator. You know?
I got one real quick.
Bring it out.
Colossians chapter 1 and 12. It says, giving thanks unto the Father, which hath made us meet to be partakers of the inheritance of the saints in light, who have delivered us from the power of darkness and have translated us into the kingdom of his dear Son.
That's it. That's Colossians, right?
Yeah, come.
So yeah, that it's a translation from this present situation and the present mind state that we were in, and taking our minds and changing it from the old thoughts and bringing it into the new thoughts, because the new thoughts of the scriptures, that's what the kingdom consists of. You know, the truth. You know, like, so now the way we think now is way far, it's like light and day compared to how we used to think, because the way we think now is what's gearing us to get into the kingdom, you know, to be built up in that fashion.
That glory, man.
That glory, that's right.
That glory is more than worth it, man.
And this is why it says that, you know, if you fall away from this thing, you know, after you tasted the kingdom and the power of the things to come, there's nothing else left. You know, because the Lord is showing us what's coming. He's putting it into our minds to actually see what's coming, even though we can't fully see everything. But the glory and the extravagance of everything that's coming, man. You know. You have more?
Got another quick one.
Go ahead.
2 Corinthians 5:1. It says,
yep, that's right. That's right. No, go ahead.
2 Corinthians 5:1. It says, for we know that if our earthly houses of this tabernacle were dissolved, we have a building of the Most High, an house not made with hands,
right,
eternal in the heavens.
That's right. Now, you got to listen to what the Apostle Paul is saying. You got to listen.
Yeah,
because we have a body here, this we're in right now, our spiritual in this body. We also have a heavenly tabernacle, which is bodies in the heavens. So it's like a suit of clothing in the heavens waiting for us up there when we go and translate back and forth from earth to heaven, right? But now he's using this as a comparison to what's coming. Watch when you read it.
It said, for in this we groan earnestly, desiring to be clothed upon with our house which is from heaven. If so, being clothed, we should not be found naked.
Yep, go ahead.
We that are in this tabernacle do groan, being burdened.
Right.
Not for that we would be unclothed, but clothed upon.
Right.
That mortality might be swallowed up of life.
Right. So that body that's in the heavens, that's meant to be in the heavens, we're going to be clothed with a similar body here on the earth. Because it said, for we that are in this tabernacle do groan, because these bodies break down. You get aches and pains and, you know. And we go off. Exactly. It says being burdened, because we are burdened. It says not for that we should be unclothed, not so that we can be dead, you know, but clothed upon, that mortality might be swallowed up of life, because this is where immortality comes in, which is not to die.
Which is how it's shy. That's what he conquered. He's the first fruits.
Thank you. God
first
damn.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it, brother. That's it.
That's heavy. That ties in, man.
And this is why he is the author. He is the forerunner. Because he entered into the heavens before us. He actually got this glory before us, and this is why we're waiting to be changed into his likeness.
And that's the faith. And that's how we know that it's going to happen, because the Lord, the Most High, did it with him. He was the first spirit to be resurrected back into immortality.
That's right.
You know?
That's right.
I got it.
So that's heavy, man.
This one ties right into what you read.
What you got?
1 Corinthians 15 and 40.
Yep.
It says, there are also celestial bodies and bodies terrestrial.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the body terrestrial means earth body, you know?
Yep.
That's where you get the word terrain or
Now,
terra.
what's celestial bodies?
You know, heavenly bodies, spiritual.
There you go. Go ahead.
Bodies with what you're able to do spiritual power.
Right. And those are the bodies that are up in the heavens.
Yep.
So there's always, well, see, the bodies on the earth have to be created. from the sperm, which is the actual body of the child. It goes into the woman, and that builds up. But in the heavens, that suit of clothing is sitting up there, just like you got a closet full of coats and jackets and shirts and pants, socks, and you put it on. That's the same thing when we transfer from this life into the heavens, go into that body. But now that body up there is incorruptible.
Right.
It don't go off.
Moth nor rough.
Right. Moth nor rough does corrupt. It doesn't fart. You don't have bad breath up there.
Yep. You ain't got to worry about it getting old. Or
right.
rotten.
You don't get hungry.
Yeah.
You don't eat.
That's the other glory. That other
right.
glory. Yeah.
You shall be changed in the twinkling of an eye.
That's it. You don't want to hit that crack rock.
Right. You ain't thinking about it.
You ain't thinking about none of that stuff. All you thinking about is things that please the Most High.
Yep. Now,
totally
it's like now I'm just sitting here listening to you brothers, man, in the scriptures, and I'm just like, and Esau. That's why they messed up. I'm sorry to go back, but Esau's got to be sitting there saying, if anything what we saying is true, that means that they in trouble.
They
man.
in trouble, Jack.
They in trouble. Like, we gonna be clothed with the body, the glory that Yahweh Shai got. And it makes sense because he said you're gonna be joint heirs with him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You can't be. Look. We go. What Elder's reading here. This corruptible body can't inherit the kingdom. But the Salaki, man, I'm just at a loss for words. But the change can't come until our minds are changed.
Right.
Our minds have to be changed first, and then afterwards, because the spiritual power starts in the mind.
In the mind, yep.
Yahweh Shai said, the smallest thing or the least thing you could do in spiritual power, he said, which one of you, by taking thought, can add a cubit to your stature?
If you have faith as a mustard seed.
Yeah.
Mustard seed is one of the smallest seeds.
Con.
It says, 1 Corinthians 15 and 40, there are also celestial bodies and bodies terrestrial. But the glory of the celestial is one, and the glory of the terrestrial is another.
Right.
And Yahweh Shai, he said, I ain't going to meet you as a man no more. I ain't coming back in that terrestrial body.
Yeah.
No. He coming to kick ass, man, with that glorious body he got. And that's what we read in Philippians 3, that we are trying, these vile bodies to be changed into his glorious body.
I got a little more.
Go ahead, bring it out.
It said, I'll skip down to verse 42. So also is the resurrection of the dead.
Beautiful, yep.
It is sown in corruption, sin, that's why, like Paul said, the things that I don't desire to do, that's what I do, the sin that does so easily
beset us, yep.
It says, so it is sown in dishonor, it is raised in glory, it is sown in weakness, it is raised in power.
Right, so now the Apostle Paul is using the resurrection as a symbolism, right, of the comparison between the corruptible body and the incorruptible body, which we're going to be changed into the incorruptible body.
And that's power right there.
Yeah.
To be able to change, because normally these bodies, you die, that's it.
Yeah.
And that's what makes this go around even greater, because, like we went into as the house of David.
Yep.
Eventually we all fell, right? We went back.
Yep.
We slept, went back in the spirit world and everything. But now the Lord is actually changing us right before the eyes from this corruptible flesh into the incorruptible. Yeah. And that's just power. Esau can't do that.
He can't do it. See, the last thing. See, the last thing that's needed for perfection is the changing of these bodies. Then the laws can be put into our inward parts because we'll have the heart of flesh instead of the heart of stone. See, so everything's going to be, so it's going to be extraterrestrial bodies, but the glorious bodies are already in the heavens. So if we're going to live forever, what need is that? I'm just speaking as a man. Something I'm thinking of now. What need would there be for a spiritual body? Why couldn't the Lord just send those spiritual bodies down here to us on the planet, or when we go up into the chariots? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't understand if y'all don't understand what I'm saying. I run it again. We got bodies in the heavens and bodies on the earth. The bodies in the heavens are incorruptible.
Right.
They live forever. Bodies on the earth die. So if we're going to be changed into those immortal bodies, why couldn't those be the bodies? I mean, I'm just speaking as a man, so like I'm just thinking out loud.
Yeah.
Because if we're going to live forever, what need would there be for those bodies to still be up in the heavens waiting for us if we're going to live forever? You know, I'm just like speaking as a man.
Right.
Salaki, brother, you know, hope I ain't confusing nobody.
No. But now as you're saying, I'm just thinking about, because, you know, like the scripture say, the Lord wanted to have us in chance to hide for a moment for the indignation.
Yeah.
To be, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then it says that the enemies beheld them. So the Most High want them to see that
going up. Yeah.
Because remember when they seen Yahweh Shai, when he, you know, they was like, oh shit. And then the angel said, why marvel?
Yeah.
You Galileans, you know? It would seem like, man, you know, Yahweh Shai is going to return. So the Most High, he want these motherfuckers, he want them to see us getting beat.
Oh, yeah. The enemies beheld them.
Changed
right.
into that glory.
So that glorious body.
That's oh my God.
You know? So I'm you know, I'm just...
Hey, brother, the well, in that scripture in Corinthians, the 2nd chapter, it says your mind thinks upon these things, man. You know, and at least this is what we should be looking for, if I may say this. Shouldn't be worried about fucking becoming a millionaire,
right?
Or trying to, you know, get the hottest bitch in the game or whatever. Nah, we should have the scriptures tell you that too. Have our mind set on
single,
kingdom, slack it. Yeah. You know, single-hearted.
Yeah, because of course, you know, we're gonna go up with these bodies, and our enemy is gonna be hard. Because how are they gonna know who's who if the change comes up here? Yeah.
Right.
Now it says in the twinkling of an eye. Yeah. So when we get up to a certain point, these bodies can't breathe out there. The air gets too thin. So at that point, that's when the change come. You know. Yep. But being here, you know, we'll be going up in these. You know, so you know, I'm just like I said, I'm just.
Things are getting more vivid, like like the closer we get.
That's exactly. That's 1 Corinthians 13:9.
13:9, man. That's the truth, man. And see, hey, the Lord is gonna reward us, man. It's more than enough to fight for and hold on to, because that's gonna last forever.
Yep. And that's why the climb is so hard.
Yeah.
You know, the climb and the way and to get there, it's been this rough. That's why the Apostle Paul said, you know, the kingdom, the glory that's coming, the suffering that we're going through is not even going to be comparable to it.
That's crazy.
You know?
That's crazy.
So.
That's crazy. Hey,
you got some more? Yeah, bring it out.
It's a lot more. All right, 1 Corinthians 15:44. It is sown a natural body, it is raised a spiritual body.
Yep.
There is a natural body and there is a spiritual body.
Boom.
So
right, which cuts the whole. I mean, of course, we know brothers is on a higher level, but it cuts that whole thing of an angel having sex with
Lord
with a woman.
Yeah, because the angels. First of all, if an angel was, let's say if that was possible, which it ain't,
right?
That woman would die.
She definitely died.
She would die.
Yeah.
Rod of fire, man. You know what I'm saying? They'll blow that whole shit out.
Yeah.
Salakia.
Angels of pure energy.
Like that.
You know, come on, man. Shit. Goddamn. Salakia, brothers, you know. Excuse my forwardness.
Yep. So it said, verse 45, and so it is written, the first man, Adam, was made a living soul.
Yeah.
And the last Adam was made a quickening spirit.
And that's the two, which is Yahweh Shai, as Adam and as Yahweh Shai.
Both times, that's his cycle.
Right. No, you got it, brother. Go ahead, say it. Finish.
That was him coming full circle.
Yeah, because that was the corruptible to the incorruptible. That was the path from Adam being the corruptible to Yahweh Shai being the incorruptible.
Wow. Yep.
You know.
It says, howbeit that was not first which is spiritual.
That's right.
But that which is natural.
Then that's why we know through the Spirit that Adam had to fall. Because there was a path that the Most High, although the Most High got mad, because it's true, you know, we broke his law, but it had to happen that way. Romans the 8th chapter. You know, the creature was made subject to vanity, not willingly, but by reason of him who has subjected the same in hope. And what is that hope? The hope of eternal life, to get back to the tree of life that we had, the first estate, right?
Yep.
Woo!
But that which is natural, and afterward that which is spiritual.
Right. That's which is what's coming.
We're coming back. We're trying to
right.
get back. Like
so we went 360. You know?
It says the first man is of the earth, earthy. the second man is the Lord Yahweh Shai from heaven. It says, as is the earthy, such are they also that are earthy.
Right, because everyone is set in the same fashion, in the same manner, in the same, way.
Yeah, everybody died. These bodies died.
And then you notice, like, people have the same ways about them, mannerisms, because it's all the same shit. And this is the fashion of this body.
Yep.
You know?
And as is the heavenly, such are they also that are heavenly.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
That's right.
Spiritual.
Which they're in their perfect state.
Yeah.
That's why they don't play games.
And the angels are in perfect order.
Yeah.
You know, even Satan. Satan is an angel. He's doing his job. You know.
Con.
It
That's
says,
right.
Now.
And he's gonna be doing his job after this whole shit goes down.
Yeah.
Because he is a son of the Most High, and he's on the left hand side of the Most High.
And we're gonna unleash him on Esau.
Yep. That's right. Well, that's 1 Corinthians the 6th chapter.
Correct.
You shall judge angels.
Yeah. Satan is the angel.
Yeah.
Verse 50 says, now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of the Most High. Neither doth corruption inherit incorruption.
Right. So that's why these bodies have to be changed.
Yeah.
And when you understand the scriptures, we know that there are different parts of the body, and all these different parts of the bodies which represent a brick in this building of this house, this spiritual house. 1 Corinthians. Matter of fact, somebody get that 1 Peter 2 and 5. You know, we understand that all those bricks coming together are building this tabernacle, which is the tabernacles of David.
Yep.
You know, and Yahweh Shai is the Lord over that.
Yep.
That's why he is the foundation that the house is built upon.
Yeah. 1 Peter chapter 2.
The cornerstone.
The cornerstone, that's right.
Yep. Matter of fact, can I start at 4?
Whatever, you got it.
1 Peter chapter 2 verse 4. It says, to whom coming as unto a living stone, disallowed indeed of men, but chosen of the Most High and precious. Yet ye also, as lively stones, are built up a spiritual house in holy priesthood to offer up spiritual sacrifices acceptable to the Most High by Yahweh Shai.
Yeah, because the Most High ain't dealing with that carnal shit. He's of purer eyes and to behold iniquity.
Yeah, that's why he did away with the law of animal sacrifice.
Yeah.
That was for a certain
For
time.
the time being,
until
yeah.
Yahweh Shai came on the scene.
That's right.
You know, after that, now you have to offer up spiritual sacrifices that please the Lord.
That's right.
You know, prayers, you know, fasting, doing the work.
That's it. You got more on that?
Okay, yep. It says, wherefore also it is contained in the scripture, behold, I lay in Zion a chief cornerstone, elect, precious, because Yahweh Shai was the guy. You know, he was the man. He was the one who the Lord set up that was only one found worthy. Like you brought out Revelation the 5th chapter earlier.
Okay.
Yahweh Shai was the only one found worthy to unloosen the seals, right? It says press. No, Slacky. I lost myself reading this. Yeah, no, I'm back on. It says, elect, precious, and he that believeth on him shall not be confounded. You know, meaning what? Believing in Yahweh Shai. So it all goes back to Yahweh Shai. You know, the Lord raising up the tabernacles of David through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, because the house of David is going to follow after Yahweh Shai. All right?
It has to be built, like it says in Matthew, said that if you don't build on that foundation, you're going to build on sand. You know, Yahweh Shai is that solid foundation, you know, that solid rock.
That's
know,
that foundation. That's right.
If you're trying to come up like according to the house of Saul, that's building like on sand.
Yeah.
It's
coming up another way.
And your house is going to fall eventually.
And that's why you had a brother ask the other day, why did the other leaders of Israel hate Yahweh Shai, the Lord? Because, well, one thing is they were of different houses. They wasn't the Israel of the Most High. See, the Lord this thing is about election. So as Yahweh Shai is the elect, he came for the Lord's elect. So the Lord's elect, as we've been reading in the scriptures and the precepts you brothers been putting up there on the comment board.
Oh yeah, they've been getting down.
You know, yeah, brothers is firing it up. The Lord's elect, that the Lord's elect house was the house of David. All right, but you also had the house of Saul, the house of Absalom.
Yep.
All right, and other families and other different houses that weren't the chosen line or the chosen house, so to speak. You know.
Yeah, because the scripture we were reading earlier, Zechariah 12, it said in the house of David they're going to mourn.
Yeah.
The house of Nathan, I think it says something like that.
So
you have houses that families that were part of the house of David.
House of David, that's heavy.
What you said about the question they had for you again? Why did those other groups hate Yahweh Shai?
Why did the other leaders hate Yahweh Shai?
I got a scripture right here. It says in John 3:17, and I think through 19. It says, "For the Most High sent not His Son into the that." Oh no. Let me skip down one more verse 18. It says, "He that believeth on Him is not condemned, but he that believeth not is condemned already." Because when Yahweh Shai came, He was condemning those wicked Pharisees and scribes, and basically he was telling them, you know, He was reproving them, man, and they didn't like to be reproved, you know. And that's pretty much why they hated Him, because He told them they were going off, and He was reproving and rebuking them, and that's why they didn't like Him.
God. Yeah, well, they hate the Father. That's why they hate Yahweh Shai. And that's why they hate us. You know? You got more on that?
I missed my place for a second.
Did you finish up in 1 Corinthians 15? Or you got something else?
Yeah, it was a little bit more.
Okay, now bring it.
All right, let me go back there.
You know, matter of fact, you could jump. You know, you brothers get a chance, you could read, because we're already coming up almost an hour and a half, which usually, you know, Jake after 45 minutes.
Yeah, they log off.
I don't think brothers log off, but
brothers,
they just, yeah. Well, shit.
Not brothers, but Jake.
The regular Jake, probably after 5 minutes, they'll log off, unless the spirit, you know, is
not the spirit
working with them.
Different levels, one esteem over another, different levels.
Gone. You could jump down to the
50. I think.
Yeah, 50. You could jump off there. 50.
It says, "Now I say this, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of the Most High.
That's what we're at. Yep.
Neither doth corruption inherit incorruption.
Go ahead.
Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed."
Right. These bodies are going to be changed. Now, just for the record, I don't want brothers to get it the wrong way. I said earlier that I wouldn't be surprised if the bodies we have in heaven be translated to us here on the earth. You know, I was just thinking out loud, you know, so I'm not saying that's gospel, because I don't know. So I just want to make that clear, you know, in case of, we know Apostle Ramnath said that the bodies in the heavens are going to come down here. That's where we're going to be. No, I didn't say that. I mean, it's possible, but I don't know. We'll see when the time comes. So go ahead. I just wanted to clarify that up, because, you know, just for the record.
But we do know we shall be changed.
But we do know we shall be changed. That's right.
It says, "In a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump."
Not Donald.
Yeah, "at the last trump, for the trumpet shall sound, and the dead shall be raised incorruptible, and we shall be changed."
Right, because the ones that are in the graves that died in the Lord are going to be brought up and become incorruptible, and the ones that are alive will be changed and raised up too.
Beamed up into the chariots.
But all those bodies are going to be beamed up as they are here now, and then at a certain point in the sky they'll be changed, because the scriptures speak about the enemies beholding them. Wow. And even Job said, you know, "I know after my body is destroyed, with my eyes shall I see it, and not another."
He said, "I know in the flesh I shall see the Lord." You know?
Yep. And this is what you see, is the house of David being built up.
Verse 53.
Which proves reincarnation.
That's it.
Yeah.
Proves reincarnation. How is David going to be back unless he's reincarnated?
Exactly. Verse 53. "For this corruptible must put on incorruption."
Bam. And this, good.
It says, "And this mortal must put on immortality. So when this corruptible shall have put on incorruption, and this mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory.
Right, that's why it speaks about, I believe that was in 2 Corinthians 5, where it spoke about that body that don't die.
Okay.
You know, eternal in the heavens. Go ahead. I'm just saying.
So it says, death is swallowed up in victory. Hey, just like when Yahweh Shai went to raise the girl that died from the dead.
Yep.
And they laughed him to scorn. And he got so mad. He put their asses out. He's like, kick their ass out. Get the fuck out of here. You know?
Just said she was sleeping. Because that's what she was. She was sleeping.
Yeah. And then he raised her up. You know?
Yep.
It's all good. Hey.
Verse 55. Oh, actually, yeah, 55. Because you read 54.
Let's see. It says, O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory?
Yeah, we could stop there. Let's go get two more precepts. Go to Psalm 17 and 15. You know, we pretty much got the point on that scripture there. So we're going to get two more precepts, and then if you brothers have anything else, or you elders have anything else, bring it out. Psalm 17 and 15.
Psalm 17 and 15. It says, Sulaki, as for me, I will behold thy face in righteousness. I shall be satisfied when I awake with thy likeness.
And that's what we're waiting for, to awake with the likeness of Yahweh Shai. And I believe this was King David. Yep, King David that said that. Now let's go from there to 2 Corinthians 2. And start at 17 and 18.
2 Corinthians 2.
Oh, wait a minute.
16.
No, 1 Corinthians. I'm sorry, 1 Corinthians 2. I wrote the wrong thing down. 1 Corinthians 2 and
16.
No, you know what? I'm sorry. It's 2 Corinthians chapter 3. That's what happened. 2 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 17 and 18.
Okay.
Yeah, I made a mistake. Salaki on that.
That's right. 2 Corinthians 3, verse 17 and 18.
Yep.
Says, now the Lord is that Spirit, and where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty.
Yep.
But we all, with open face, beholding as in a glass the glory of the Lord Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Yeah, because we actually seeing these things. Mm-hmm. You know? Go ahead.
Are changed into the same image from glory to glory.
Though the outward man perish, the inner man is renewed day by day. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
It says, are changed into the same image from glory to glory, even as by the Spirit of the Lord,
right.
Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai.
Which is this word, which is the kingdom of heaven. Yeah. That's why Yahweh Shai told him, the kingdom of heaven don't come with observation, but the kingdom of heaven is what? Within you. You Israelites have this knowledge within you. You know? So now let's go from there to Isaiah chapter 40, and we'll finish there. Isaiah 40 and 28. Unless you brothers got something else. Isaiah chapter 40, verse 28 to the end.
Isaiah 40, verse 28 says, Hast thou not known, hast thou not heard, that the everlasting power, the Lord, Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, the creator of the ends of the earth, fainteth not, neither is weary. Says, neither is no searching of his understanding.
That's right.
He giveth power to the faint, and to them that have no might, he increases strength.
That's why the Lord said, you know, that he's going to rise with healings in his wings, man.
Oh, man.
Because we all busted up, man.
That's right. That's right.
We all jacked up.
Yeah, man. It says, even the youth shall faint and be weary. It says,
yeah, you got, that show you too, because you got these young niggas, you got niggas, teenagers, and, you know, maybe in their 20s talking about taking, we call them pills, man.
Yeah.
Blue pill.
Viagra.
What they call Viagra. You got young little niggas taking Viagra, man. You know what I'm saying? So
Damn.
the youth should faint.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you look at these niggas is strong. These niggas is weak, man.
Yeah.
Or they take
These niggas-
antidepressants.
Yeah, these niggas is soft though.
Soft
Like a lot
body.
of these niggas can't do no hard work. Nigga can't carry a bag of groceries up the stairs. You know? That's how soft these niggas are, man. But that's the problem. I mean, Slock, I had to say it that way, but you know, this generation is a bunch of fucking fruit cups, man.
But
All right?
That's an apocrypha too about how the generations
Absolutely.
come and they're lessons in the generation.
Brother, they finished. Now, and I know, of course, with that being said, you know, our grandfathers and everything, they probably say the same thing about us. You know, because we definitely, that's why we need Yahweh Shai to rejuvenate our spirit, because we fell off too. Hell, we soft compared to the ancient world, man. We just read about King David was up there playing with lions and bears, man. Who's gonna go out there and go wrestle with a bear? You see a bear, you're gonna start screaming like a bitch. You know what I'm saying? So that show you, but these little motherfucking niggas, man, barely could fucking hold a gun and end up shooting somebody else. These little niggas, but that's the prophecy, man. You know.
It says, even the youths shall faint and be weary, and the young men shall...
Right, because the young men were supposed to be known for what?
Their strength.
Their strength.
Their
You
youth,
see?
Their vibrancy, their strength.
That's why you see these young dudes, man, and then they end up stepping to an older Jake, or OG, end up fucking busting their fucking face open, man. You know, go ahead.
And the young men shall utterly fall.
And that's what's happening. That's why Jake is getting licked down in the streets, man. Because why? One, they're not part of the house of David, and the Lord said that he was gonna get them, man. You understand? There's a lot of people out here that really hate the Lord. You got a lot of people out here that turned on the Lord, Yahweh Shai. You see, and they're not a part of this thing, man.
Yeah.
You know.
That's the main reason they're fainting, man, because they don't have this truth, man.
And it's
then
spiritual too.
Yeah.
Not to cut you off, it's spiritual because, you know, the Spirit God is speaking about the house of David and everything. It's spiritual because not just anybody can come into this thing. You have the brother Legion. He had them demons Legion on him, right? He was he was a damn menace.
Yeah.
Yahweh Shai helped them, rebuked them spirits. So you know, naturally he wanted to get down. He wanted to follow him. Yahweh Shai said, "Nah, you can't follow. You can't follow me. Go tell them what was done." You see, so this thing is for certain men, man. It's no coincidence, you brothers that are in this thing that's coming into the fold, and you're able to see it clearly, and the rest of these other jokers out here can't see it. Hey, it's the truth, man, because this thing is for certain elect men.
That's right.
Use that word, joker.
You know, yeah, these other jokers, it ain't for them, man. And then it's safe to say, then, like, certain things we bring out about the prophecies, the RFID chip and everything.
Yeah.
Anybody that's of the house of David, they're going to know about the mark of the beast.
Yeah.
They're going to know about the nuclear missiles and
Yeah.
destruction in the name of the Most High. Hell, King David spoke nothing but about the name of the Most High. All right?
That's right.
So this thing is spiritual, man. It's spiritual. It truly is, man. Like, that's why the Lord is going to declare at the end of the day who his servants are. Yeah. Who's the real, because, you got crackers calling themselves David, house of David.
Yeah.
So it don't mean nothing if you ain't the actual house of David. Right. For you to sit there and say that you the house of David, then you should be doing the things that King David was doing. King David was diligent.
Yeah.
All right, King David was constantly praising the Most High. All right, he constantly was under attack.
Yep.
You understand?
He built the Lord's kingdom.
Yeah.
And then Solomon eventually took over, but
Yeah. Yep.
It says, even the youth shall faint.
So it ain't just, I'm sorry, brother, it ain't just saying it. It's about, you got to walk the walk as well. All right? And it's, right, it's an action thing, man.
Faith without works is dead.
Because when you read about, speaking about David, when you read about David and his men, the scriptures tell you that they were men chafed in the spirit, man. Bereaved, bereaved of, like a she-bear bereaved of her cubs.
Yeah.
You know? Going through hell.
And you don't want to mess with them.
Going through hell, man. Yeah. They wasn't trying to integrate and be all happy-go-lucky, and they dealt with it, man, and they was loyal.
Yeah.
They was loyal to David because they knew that the Most High was dealing with David, man. Directly, man. You see? And that's another thing. They had character back then.
They put their lives on the line.
They put their lives on the line, man.
Yeah, they went through a lot. Yo,
Go
David.
and get them some water that, you know, they had to fight for.
Yeah.
That they risked their lives just for some water that David liked. So that's a character of men that was of the house of David. So not just anybody's going to come back into the fold like that, man. It's just not going to happen. And the scriptures tell you, 1 Corinthians 14 and was it 32? The spirit of the prophets is subject to the prophets.
Yep.
You know? So
And King David was a prophet.
Prophet, you know?
Oh, yes. Yes, he would.
You see? So that's how the thing, like you brought it out earlier, out by. That's how the Lord brings everything, dealing with Yahweh Shai. The Lord brings everything back full circle, man. Full circle.
Isaiah 40 and 30, it says, even the youths shall faint and be weary, and the young men shall utterly fall. Right? I read that. Yeah.
Yep.
It said, but they that wait upon the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai.
That's the key. They that wait. They that wait. And when you read the Psalms, all right, another title for David is what? A psalmist, right?
Sweet psalmist.
The sweet psalmist, right? Which everybody's always quoting one psalm or another. You see, with the Most High. Right, and he played the harp too. Okay,
These were actually songs.
that's right. So he's always spoke about waiting in the Lord. Just like even Jacob. When you go back to Jacob, Jacob spoke about waiting for the Most High. You see, in the latter days and everything. Because Jacob was a prophet. You see, which if you will receive it, okay.
Yes.
Right.
But now.
David was King David.
That's right.
That's right.
If you ain't get the memo,
Yep.
You ain't get the memo.
you know, hey, it's
Ask it somebody.
that's right. It's right. It's spiritual. Go ahead, you got it, brother.
Isaiah 40:31. But they that wait upon the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings.
Right, and that's what it's about, man. Waiting for the Lord, so we could get rejuvenated, man.
Yeah.
You see?
That's what the house of
Celestial
David is all
bodies,
about.
Like we were saying earlier.
That's right.
Get them celestial bodies, man. Shall mount up with wings, meaning we're going to have spiritual power. We're going to be able to fly, be able to heal people,
Yeah.
raise people from the dead, you know, heal sicknesses. Our Lord said, the things you see me do, you shall do greater, man.
That's right.
The key thing is we gotta just wait,
Yeah.
and then Yahweh Shai said, in your patience, possess your souls. So, you know, and it ain't like we got a whole much longer time to wait. You know,
Our salvation is nearer than when we
it's
believe.
nearer than we believe, bro. So, you know, every day they're quarantining this and shutting down this city. State of emergencies are being declared left, right, front, and center. And that's just off of this weak ass, bitch ass coronavirus thing. What about all the other plagues that they got laid up? What about all the other issues and situations that's brewing? So, listen, man, we out of here, man.
Yeah.
We out of here.
Con.
In the spirit, bro, it ain't too much longer.
Your pie. Beautiful.
Come.
That was it on that?
It says, they shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and they shall walk and not faint.
Yeah. So pretty much, go and get that power, man. Be renewed again. Change these bodies. And with the change of the body, the incorruption comes, the change of the heart, the spiritual power, and the glory of the kingdom, and everything else that comes with it. All right, so with that, we pray that your brothers have been edified. And until the next time we say, Shalom.
Shalom, Kings.
Shalom.
And end up shooting somebody else. These little niggas, but that's the prophecy, man. You know?
It says, even the youths shall faint and be weary, and the young men shall...
Right, because the young men were supposed to be known for what?
Their strength.
Their strength.
Their
You
youth,
see?
Their vibrancy, their strength.
That's why you see these young dudes, man, and then they end up stepping